The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host, David White, for another adventure in stock market fun. And today, I think the fun is muted. This is kind of like one of those black comedies where you don't laugh as much because it's not that much going on out here. I have a feeling it's going to be a lot about the close. We are up 8 points on the S&P cash, but you can't really say that we're making any kind of big signal one way or the other yet. 2112 on the S&P cash, 2.1 billion shares. So volume just a little bit better than what we were doing last week, but not much. Just a tick better. Seeing some stocks under a little bit of pressure, but nothing that breaks lows or anything like that either. Some stocks trying to push highs. And we got a lot of news, though, but not a lot of movement in those stocks giving the news. Would be a different kind of, what I get here? I get two. There we go. What else do we have going on out here? Oh, that's for news. I'm just trying to get my thoughts here together. I need a broom today because they're all over the place. But, 2.1 billion shares. Not a whole lot going on, of course. Cheerleaders at CNBC are rah, rah, boom, boom, 5,000 on the NASDAQ. Of course, probably what are you going to say? 1,500 of that's all in one stock out of 100 in the NASDAQ 100 with, 13 or 14% of the entire index is Apple. So probably not really a index at all, and more kind of a top 5 stocks taking over 50% of the NASDAQ 100 in market cap. And it's market cap weighted, which basically tells you that it's worthless. It's not a good indication of what the majority of stocks are doing. And kind of like an average, if it doesn't tell you the truth, then it's telling you a lie. And that's it. I think I like to look at the S&P 100, Russell 2000. A lot of these broad stocks, I don't spend a lot of time looking at the Dow for that reason either. 30 stocks of 95% institutionally owned stocks. What can you say about that? Not a whole lot. But as always, we like to get started with a little bit of history to start the show off. And where is that? There it is.
It's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1904, Theodore Geisel, better known as the Dr. Seuss, the author and illustrator of such beloved children's books as A Cat in the Hat or The Cat in the Hat, and Green Eggs and Ham. I spammed green eggs and ham. He was born this day. His mother bored him this day in 1904 in Springfield, Massachusetts. He used to use his middle name, his mother's maiden name, Seuss, and wrote 48 books, including some for adults that have sold over 200 million copies, have been translated into multiple languages. But I don't know. I mean, his thing was all about the rhyme, and I wonder how well that works in foreign languages. Probably not as well. And of course, I'll never forgive him because who's the civil rights leader that can't talk without going into Dr. Seuss? I try to forget him as much as I can. I'll think of him in a minute. But always going off in rhymes. Oh, boy. But I'm almost thinking Dr. Seuss would have killed himself if he would have heard the horrible rhymes that guy gives. Yeah, I do digress. But that is. What else? I thought I had a good rhyme. I was going to bust a Dr. Seuss rhyme here in my bad OG self, but I think I'll do it later, maybe. Where does it stop? Probably one of the most interesting thing that hasn't gotten a lot of airtime, but I thought was rather significant was a hour-long, or a little longer than an hour-long doodah at Yahoo, and it was between the NSA director, Admiral Mike Rogers, and security experts were asking him questions and were interviewing him. And a very interesting kind of back and forth went on. But basically, he's out there telling everybody that, of course, all encryption needs to have backdoors for the NSA to easily get in and see what everybody's doing. But there was a rather pithy comment made by a gentleman, Alex Stamos, who's the Chief Security Information Officer at Yahoo. And I'm going to play that little section. It runs about 2 minutes.
And we'll go cyber.
Okay. Thank you, Admiral, for coming. My name's Alex Stamos. I'm the CISO at Yahoo.
Hey, Alex.
So it sounds like you agree with Director Comey that we should be building defects into the encryption in our products so that the U.S. government can decrypt.
So that would be
communication.
your characterization. Not
Well, I think Bruce Schneier and Ed Felton and all of the best public cryptographers in the world would agree that you can't really build backdoors into crypto, that it's like drilling a hole in a windshield.
I've got a lot of world-class cryptographers at the National Security Agency.
And I've talked to some of those folks, and I think some of them agree too. But
So we agree that we don't accept each other's premise. So you tell me what
okay,
you're
there we go. We'll agree to disagree on that. So if we're going to build defects / backdoors or golden master keys for the U.S. government, do you believe we should do so? We have about 1.3 billion users around the world. Should we do so for the Chinese government, the Russian government, the Saudi Arabian government, the Israeli government, the French government? Which of those countries should we give backdoors
So
to?
I'm not going to, I mean, the way you frame the question isn't designed to elicit a response.
Well, I mean, do you believe we should build backdoors for other countries?
My position is, hey, look, I think, number one, that this is technically feasible. Now, it needs to be done within a framework. I'm the first to acknowledge that. You don't want the FBI and you don't want the NSA unilaterally deciding, so what are we going to access and what are we not going to access? That shouldn't be for us. I just believe that this is achievable, and we'll have to work our way through it. And I am the first to acknowledge there's international implications to this. I think we can work our way through this.
So you do believe that then we should build those for other countries if they pass laws?
I said I think we
You
can
can work
work
through
our
it.
way through this.
So I'm sure the Chinese and Russians are going to have the same opinion, sir.
So I said I think we can work our way through this.
Okay, nice to meet you. Thanks.
He goes on to apologize, but I thought it was kind of a very interesting question. And that is, if we demand that there's backdoors in everything we build and all of our technology, then why wouldn't the Israelis or the Saudis or the North Koreans or the Iranians, why shouldn't they get backdoors in everything that we build so that they can watch and Big Brother their people? And there is the Pandora's box opened up, and it's gotten some play out in California, where this is, of course, a much bigger issue where all the companies are based. But still kind of looks very dubious as to why everything in the world has to have a backdoor into it. And as he said, if you're into cryptography, if you can, if you build a backdoor, isn't it just like drilling a hole in a windshield? Isn't that rain just going to come on through? But pretty interesting. A lot of news out here over the weekend. The FCC, we're finding out a little bit more. And there's some pretty huge claims being made by one of the members of the FCC board. Until we see the documents, again, the devil's in the detail, we don't know. But what we did find out late Friday night was that the FCC has sent letters, including to Disney, CBS, and Viacom, asking if they have ever placed any limits on distribution on streaming video, if they've ever slowed it down. And if they respond, right now they can lie with impunity because they're not under oath. But filling out a false document to the FCC would be very, it can have criminal implications. And for any, especially if they go through with the Comcast Time Warner merger, which looks doubtful at this point for a variety of reasons, including the issue of them becoming both basically common carriers. But pretty interesting. And I think what we're going to find out is what we already know, at least in the cyber world, everybody already knows. They've been able to do tests, and they know that basically these companies were trying to charge on both ends, i.e. they were charging the receiver for their internet connection, and they were trying to charge the sender, i.e. Netflix or Amazon or anybody that they could get to cut their business off and get a taste, just to wet their beak. Just give me a little taste of everything coming through. And in the end, at least the preliminary documents from the FCC suggest that that's why the net neutrality issue was solved the way it is. And of course, devil in the details. We're not going to see these documents for a while. They had to pass them to find out what's inside them. So we'll find out whether or not evil son of Satan's spawns decided to put evil things in this FCC bill to change them to common carriers, or if it was altruistic. Some people worry about, of course, the FCC trying to get in and control free speech. There are people on both sides of the aisle that would love to silence their critics on the far right and far left, both. Yelp is back in the spotlight. This company's had a problem from day one, and that is you're not really anonymous. The court cases all the way to the Supreme Court have gone up to the fact that you are not anonymous. If someone files a court case, Yelp has to tell exactly who you are and where. But this one's kind of strange. This is a company that is taking issue with a review that happened February 6th, where the folks, I think they basically said that they hadn't received their blinds that they'd ordered 6 months ago from this company, Zywick, window shade company, Zwick. And until they posted their ad, they never got any action about 6 months. So he comes out, installs their blinds that have been waiting for 6 months. And basically what he's doing is suing them because they didn't take that down, because, of course, now they've received their blinds. And this company and other companies like this, where you review other things, it's not like a movie you liked it, you didn't. There are factual issues, and you can be sued for a variety of things, libel, slander, that kind of thing. And this continues on. So there's still some problematic issues with Yelp. We'll be back in a minute. Call me at 877-927-6648.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Check out the new look of Tiger TV. Now you can see all hosts, charts, and computer screens live in high definition. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pesavento, Andy Hecht, Thinkorswim, or Carol Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV. Now, crystal clear in high definition, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't seen the new look of Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Technomental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Technomental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing, but what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
As we come back, Samsung, of course, introducing their new Galaxy 6 phone and 6 Edge Note. And pretty interesting stuff. I think I said last week, the week before, there were a few things that we didn't know. There was one thing I put in the Tech Insider a couple of weeks ago, which I thought was extremely important, and most people didn't think about it. And that is Samsung has bought a small company. That company basically had the technology to make a card reader, like a magnetic stripe, where you could just set it next to a magnetic card reader slot, and it would go ahead and make the magnetic pulse to do it. So you don't have to carry your credit cards either. Now, Samsung bought them last week. It's unclear when they really bought them. They announced it a couple weeks ago. But my guess is that they bought them some time ago, and it just kept it quiet because it's built into this phone. But if you want to talk about the way different companies, especially companies that have hundreds, if not thousands, if not tens of thousands of card readers at every exit where you go to pay, whether you're Target or Home Depot or Lowe's or Sears or whatever, everybody's got their Omron terminal. How much would you rather to see that you don't have to spend another $800 per terminal, and you can use the terminal as you have and just swipe your phone over the existing terminal that was there. And that's what Samsung bought in this technology. They are currently making a lot of inroads into these companies. Now, the banks don't care so much. A little bit of software and they're done. The people that truly care are the retailers who have to replace all those, and they are extremely expensive. Those little boxes are all $800, some of them as much as $1,200. So people really do care, and especially the systems and the software to go back and fix the systems. If you don't want to carry your charge cards with you, that's it. Now, the new phones both have fingerprint identification. There's a new camera on it, and I suspect that that camera, eventually you're going to be able to hold those cameras up to your eyes, and it's going to do a retinal scan, which is preferable over the fingerprint identification on it. But several new things going on. But to me, everybody's been blowing about how big Apple Pay was going to be. The problem I always disliked was just how much of Apple Pay was really going to be paid by retailers to rebuild and their fleet of these Omron credit card systems. So it is problematic at best. But Samsung does have a great inroad here, and that is adoption. Their product can be made, and nothing has to change. Literally nothing has to change. So who's going to get basically real-time payments faster, Apple or Samsung, and the ecosystem of Android? So I think we've got a good war brewing here. And Apple, why a lot of people are looking the other way, Samsung's not really pushing this yet. They're going to be pushing it when they have all their deals locked up. The new Galaxy I can't even say it, Galaxy S6 and the S6 Edge go on sale April 10th. So what do we got, 40 days or something now? March, yeah. So we got about 40 days before these things go on sale. There's going to be a lot more on this. And of course, while Apple will be talking about their iWatch, Samsung will be talking about real-time payment systems with your phone. And of course, since these new ones have fingerprint sensors on them from, of course, this is a big deal from Qualcomm. I think it's going to be a big deal. Now, I think we talked about on the Tom O'Brien show that these will have wireless charging. They come with a wireless charging station. And even IKEA is coming up with tables that have built-in charging systems in there, like nightstands and stuff like that, for this system that Samsung has adopted. So we're going to see a lot more on that. Of course, this one will be the first one with a metal case for Samsung. There's some other cell phones being pushed around, but not a lot of discussion about them. Of course, it's always the biggest, most expensive smartphone out there, and we'll see what happens. But a lot of stuff going on out there in World Mobile Congress. I don't think, other than Samsung coming out with a smarter phone that looks and acts much like the Apple, with some probably a little more memory and a lot more processing power. Some interesting stuff, a lot more memory, longer battery times and wireless charging. Anyway, we'll be back in a minute.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And as we're back, anyway, we're talking about Samsung, kind of an interesting deal. And I think maybe Apple Pay has got a significant competitor now. Especially, mostly in the United States, where no one wants to replace all those Omron card readers anytime soon. Just being able to push it next to the card reader and have it work seems pretty exciting. And the S6 and S6 Edge will have that. Other things going on out here, lumber liquidators, if you've not seen any TV, was getting hammered down another 20% on the open this morning when it finally did open. Kind of interesting, though, that 60 Minutes, this is not the first time they've torpedoed a stock. The question is whether or not it's justified. And it's kind of tough to sell, because we've got some short sellers that are really instigating this. But, you know, some of the tests look interesting. The question is whether the tests were done correctly. Now, according to them, they tested not only Lumber Liquidators wood flooring, but other flooring from Home Depot and Lowe's, and it's nowhere close to that. But this wouldn't be the first time that short sellers have decided to rout a company, only later to find out it was all bogus, and basically have enough plausible deniability so that no one ever figures it out. The Lumber Liquidator CEO did come out today and say that he thinks that the testing was flawed in the way that they did it. They didn't do it the way that California says, so the numbers that they show could be wide off. On the downside, they were able to boost in about a 6-month period their profit margin by about, or the cost of wood flooring down by about 15%. And of course, the argument that the hedge fund managers that are pushing this is, how did they suddenly get wood to go 15% lower when no one else could? That is that they cut every corner, including those of the regulation by the state of California. Now, the question is whether or not this company can even stay in business if it has to go back in and repair all the floors that they've already put in. But, you know, if they decide to fight it, it could take 5 or 10 years. The question is whether or not they go bankrupt in the meantime anyway, and everybody ends up with nothing. The hedge fund managers that shorted this would be happy. The hedge fund managers in California that actually instigated lawsuits from some tree-hugging folks that don't like wood being used for flooring or anything are kind of part of it. So you've got some people with some pretty strong agendas, one financially and two kind of politically, going against these. And it would not be the first time that the truth had been vastly exaggerated. Probably just looking at this and watching the video of the 60 Minutes piece last night, I suspect it's probably overstated. But even the truth is probably bad enough to sink this company, so we'll have to watch it. But it's tough to see how this company continues as a going concern if even half of what 60 Minutes said last night is true. And, you know, they've got other problems besides this. They were buying Russian wood on the down low, and I don't know why that's illegal, but apparently it is. And there may be criminal sanctions coming to the company for that issue that may be discussed in the next month. So if you were thinking about buying this for a dip, there's probably even more bad news to come with that Russian wood deal. And I'm not exactly sure why that's a bad deal, because I buy Russian spruce and Baltic plywood for some of the woodworking I do for fun. At the local woodworking shop, but it's about half the price of United States spruce and cherry and some of the other deals. Although it comes in a weird 5x5 sheet, not an 8x4 sheet like we have over here. I do digress. It is a mad market. We're going to get right to charts here as quickly as possible. In the meantime, you can email me at path@tfnn.com. You can call me at 877-927-6648, or you can post a message in the den. Although I think everybody's kind of thinking the market kind of moved at the beginning of the day, and now it's kind of everybody's kind of scratching their head about what this means. Anyway, we're printing 2111 on the S&P cash, 2.28 billion shares. So volume tepid. It's not cold, it's not hot, and you'd like to see some hot hitting these highs. And of course, everybody's keeping a close eye out on the NASDAQ at 49.89, so 10 points under that, and whether or not they can close. It got 1 point higher than that, 5,001 for the high today, and it's pulled back 10 points, but that's not a whole lot. And of course, all they have to do is buy 50 cents worth of Apple, and that will be and close over the highs of the day. So not a big deal of that at all. Anyway, make sure and give me a ring, as it is a quiet day. We can talk about it. I suspect we've got some action out here in that whole Apple Pay sector. NXP Semiconductors bought out another company, bought out Freescale Semiconductors in a $40 billion deal, raising basically to 100 for a target, which it hit basically today at 99.50. The question is whether or not NXPI will have that near field pay system locked up, or if Samsung's technology will reign supreme. But in any case, either NXPI is a $200 stock or back to a $15 stock, and it's really tough right now to know which one that will be. But if you're looking for a trader, I suspect that thing will have some wide swings over the next year as we fight over the future of electronic pay systems with cell phones and smartphones. Nice gap up out here, so you can't say anything other than that. It's got huge volume and a huge move. I don't see the synergies that everybody else sees, but I digress. Other companies out here, a little pop out of here out of Pembina Pipeline Corporation. They were upgraded out here, but it's not out of the woods yet. This thing has made a couple of tests to the $30 level. My guess is that pipelines will not be hot again anytime soon. What else do we have? Most of these things are not moving that wide. BBRY, really talking up things over there in the World Congress. Got up to $11 and 18 cents today. But this thing, they're just trying to keep it above $10 and dole it out to funds that buy stocks above $10. My guess is when they've all bought it, this thing will roll over and go to its grave. It is one of my undead stocks. Those that are dead but really don't know it still have a little bit mobility, kind of like the living dead walk around. But I just don't see how these guys make it. They keep coming up with ideas and ideas and ideas. None of them ever seem to hold water or catch any kind of wind. But it announced progress with Samsung Electronics in their partnership with the planned integration of smart Samsung Knox with two BlackBerry enterprise devices. And Knox is this system that Samsung has for dividing the cell phone into virtual cell phones, so you could have half of it for enterprise and half of them for yourself. So if it's your smartphone, you only have to carry one of them around, not one for the business, and then one for yourself. But the twain would never meet. There would be a great wall of China between the software on one side and the software on the other. But I don't think BlackBerry's going anywhere soon. Going to heaven and hell, PCRX received the Dear John letter from the FDA seeking approval of its drug, and it was not received well, saying that it ain't gonna fly, folks. And down on heavy volume, you've got support that probably comes back in right around that $84 to $85 level, with the previous two lows coming in on November 7th at $84.93 and the $82 low from January 6th. So you can look at that. Another one that's getting a little hammered out here is Navi, N-A-V-I, disclosed in its 10K filings an ED asset recovery contract and also subpoena. So whatever they're doing out there, not well regarded in the legal community and law enforcement. Down on monstrous volume, back hovering above $19 now. But there's a spike. I think when this news came out, January 21st, down to 1716, that had 3 million shares. We already have 7.5 million shares today. These things don't go away quick, so look for the drip, drip, drip of additional news on this site. What do we have here? Sotheby's, or as we like to see, Sotheby's, folks. This is another one down fairly strongly today. Reported weak earnings of $1.12 per share, 16 cents worse than consensus. Revenues rose 3.5% per year, and not good. Revenues up a little bit, of course, profit down, and no one wants to see that. So that's kind of what we have going on out there. See what else is on my list. This is Grubhub, GRUB. Almost a little reversal out here, minus a lot of the volume when this thing came down on Thursday last week. That was 2.4 million shares. Had a doji on Friday of 1.6 million shares. Today, we're up on 1.3 million shares. So it would be very interesting other than the dojis. My guess is we're going to crawl up to this August 13th high from 2014 at 45.80. That's only $1.50 away from this. So probably going to look at testing that here this coming week. Keep a lock on it to see if there's anything else out here. Well, we're going to look at some of the other stocks. We talked about BID, JK Solar. JK Solar out here having some interesting action after a kind of a long sideways consolidation that started on the 3rd of February, and we've kind of gone sideways here for a month. Opened lower, it's going to close a little higher out here today, but you got a lot of volume, a lot of arguments, but not a lot of direction. And this is something I wrote about in my newsletter today, and that is that I'm looking at a ton of stocks, and I can't find a great deal of them that are giving a lot of good signals. The Vector Group, VRG, is one that is. Let's get the headline out here on it. This one is one of those dark cloud covers that they talk about that swallows up weeks of trading. It came out with its earnings, and let's take a look at here. See what they had to say. Profit of $37 million or 35 cents per share. And that was about 8% higher. The stock has climbed 24% last 12 months, and not enough to hold it up here. Let's take a look at the profile. Manufactures and sells cigarettes in the United States. Huh. I didn't know that. It's one of these cigarette companies I was unfamiliar with. Pyramid, Grand Prix, Liggett, Select, and Eve brands of cigarettes. I never smoked. That's probably why I didn't know them. But interesting nonetheless. We're going to go back to some of the stocks that we were looking at last week and see if we get anything out of them. See if there's any change. We looked at Ross. Was worried about this thing being a doji shooting star. You could still get it with, you like to see one day and it instantly reverse. A little higher out here today, not a lot of volume, but certainly had all the volume and a good sign of strength. Another one that kind of is very interesting to me out here is this Direction Small Cap Bear Shares. TNA is the symbol on this thing. Even if you do go the conservative route, which is the July 1st high of last year, 85.66, 8.2 million shares. And we look how we come into it in the last few days, or in the 4 million shares is one thing. You can also be a little less conservative and look at the March 4th high of last year at 13 million shares at 86.68, which we went through today with 4.6 million shares so far today. So any way you look at it, these stocks are up here at the highs. Volume is kind of waning, and we're not getting a lot of action. Again, always call me at 877-927-6648. Email me at path@tfnn.com and or post a message in the den.
Trade with confidence and clarity while using the software that thousands of institutional traders rely on to make the best and most accurate decisions. Choose from 1,000 equities, currencies, and futures instruments utilizing the TAS architecture. As seen on Bloomberg terminals worldwide, the TAS Profile Scanner is a benchmark technical filtering system that thousands of traders rely on, and now you can too. For a limited time for TFNN subscribers only, we've reduced the price to just $97. That's over 75% off. John Logan hosted a special subscriber-only webinar in December, and you'll gain access to that archive as well, so you can learn exactly what the TAS Profile Scanner can do for you. Try this product out. No matter what you trade, the TAS Profile Scanner can help you make more informed trading decisions. There's no obligation to pay anything. Don't let this offer pass you by. Get your 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner today by signing up at TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy, a set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN, also a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And as we come back out here, some of these kind of giving some interesting signals. Kind of nice little bounce out here, although on light volume, so we may get one more test. And of course, one more day of fund buying. And what we'll really know is probably starting in about 36 minutes, we're going to see those market on close orders, and we're going to see the funds spending their cash, and we'll see what they go after. If they all try to run into one stock like Amazon or Apple, or if the love is spread around a bit. But at the moment, just looking at some of these that look rather interesting, and the emerging markets bear 3X share, the EDZ, catching my eye in that we've had a low out here in that January 22nd that had 1.1 million shares at 32.17. We've gone below that, and we're getting ready to close back above it. 32.85 was the high today, 32.55. So we're back in that trading range. But we've got very light volume. So what you'd like this to do is probably go sideways for a little bit and get that light volume. But one of the best looking charts out here, if you want to go long something, is this emerging markets bear 3X shares that may be part of the whole dollar issue. And of course, when we look at the dollar today, not a lot of sign that this thing's ready to give up the ghost. $95.42 on the dollar index. And, I continue to think that we're looking at 98 on the dollar index. And I don't think any changes on that. And as that continues to go higher, of course, probably going to put the brakes on a lot of movements in emerging markets. But I do digress. Anyway, what else do we have going on out here that was interesting? TNA, which we talked about, Variant Systems. This is one of the stocks that's got a lot of volume at the highs, can't break the highs. Getting a little doji out here today, too. VRNT. And I'm kind of wondering why this thing hasn't broke out higher. December 1st, this thing was $61.05 on 630,000 shares. On Friday, we had 1.7 million shares, went through it, basically trying to close above it today with a little doji. This thing's had a huge run out here. Kind of interesting to see that you can't break higher. So I'm looking for some of these stocks to give me a sign that the market does want to go higher or it wants to stall here. Right now, we've got a lot of stocks that are kind of turtling. They're doing a little prairie dogging. They're sticking their heads out, seeing whether they get shot off or not. But not really coming out of the hole and not sticking their head all the way back in it. Just kind of like sticking their head out just enough to see. And what we're seeing in a great deal of these stocks. Let's see what we had last week. Amazon, another one that is very interesting. This thing's bucking up against its high volume. March 13th high of last year, 383.11. It's gone over it a couple of days. It's trying to actually hold higher. But again, today, very, very light volume. And I'm wondering just how much of this is going to be the kind of a lighter term, long term. Oh, what did I do here? Change the symbols. Amazon. That's what I did wrong. When you go back, it's got this monster gap down that happened on volume, and it may take a few times for it to get through. I've got Amazon, like it now, like it more now. Bought something from them today. It's kind of tough. Anyway, so when you can, not when you have to. See you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. You're watching Tiger TV.